What is going on, everyone? It's the old gaming blog here, bringing you guys Black Ops 2 gameplay and why you should not pre-order video games. So, over the last few years, gaming pre-orders have become quite popular, as many of you might know. It is actually one of the most crucial revenue streams for big publishers, which means is basically it's one of their main ways of getting money from you is pre-orders, because even if you don't buy the game, you already lay down money, either half of it or however much you lay down. So you lay down something, even if you don't get it, they win. With games offering as many as 8 different versions or the pre-order bundles, so you can have pre-order 8 different versions of the game. Of some games, obviously, where you can buy the game before it's finished, months before it's even finished. Well, you can either buy it or at least lay a deposit of it in the promise that you will buy it as soon as the game comes out. What you get in return? Why should you do this? Well, first of all, you're gonna definitely get a copy of the game if you pre-order it. They just reserve one for you. Now, before I even go into further, let me just say that's not all you're gonna get. You're gonna also get some more plastic tats, which can be a bust, a statue, a piece of crap that you probably don't even want, a box, cover arts, a book of concept arts, different cases, whatever they buy for. Most of the time it's in-game DLC that you can't get if you don't pre-order the game, or that you can get earlier, or discounts, or any other reason to make you pre-order that game. Now, before going to further with this, what I wanted to say before is basically in the history of ever, I don't think there's ever have been any game that it hasn't been enough copies of the game that you can honestly say this game, you know, we ran out of the game, you can't have it anymore. And I'm not saying about just in the store next to you or the town over. I'm talking about, you know, in general. Generally, there's always copies of the game, too many copies of the game that are still unsold. There's tons of reproductions. So the points that they will reserve one for you because the game is going to sell out, that's invalid, because they won't sell out. They'll always have tons of copies. Do you know how many boxes of Call of Duty Black Ops 2 I've seen shipping in the game store in my town? There was about 8 boxes of them, and I'm not talking about small boxes. I'm talking about really big boxes of Call of Duty games. So they had plenty. So that's, you know, demolishes that. Don't think that because you didn't pre-order it that they'll run out of copies when it's your turn. That's not going to be the case for any major AAA titles. That's what I'm talking about. Another good thing that these guys were boosting, motherfuckers. Another good thing that about pre-orders is you can also you don't have to, for some pre-orders, you don't have to go to the store to get to buy it. You just, you know, download it in your own comfort of your home. So it's basically a pre-order in digital sale. So and just pussy fighting with this guy. Anyways, in the light of the recent disasters of aliens, colonial marines in SimCity, I feel like I should put my opinions towards this, because we've seen some pre-orders are good, some games are good to do, other games are completely horrendous. Like SimCity sold 1 million copies, and I highly doubt that there's 1 million people that are actually satisfied with their copy, especially with over all the bullshit that the game has been experiencing. So that tells me right then and there that there's something wrong with this. Now, you've already paid to make sure you got more expensive version of the game, which it is what it is. You know, you're not gonna get anything special with it, which means extra DLC or a new metal box, and that's all good and dandy, unless the game turns out to be a pile of crap. So it's kind of a gamble if you think about it. Like, you pre-ordered this game that you've been waiting for months. You've heard all these good things about the game, and then the game comes out and it's horrible. And when I mean horrible, I mean unplayably, stupidly, horrendously horrible. And yes, we all know with advances in technology, people can improve the games as they're out, such as Call of Duty Black Ops 2, for example, who gets tons of patches all the time to improve the game, because the game wasn't very good when it came out. There was tons of errors, and they've corrected it. Such as many other games, like Fallout New Vegas, for example. When the game first came out, it was almost unplayable. And now with all the patches, it's been fixing the bugs over and over again. So that's out of the question as well. One thing that they don't do with the money that you pre-order is, and this is kind of a myth a lot of people tend to do, is they don't use the money to develop the game. So you might asking yourself, well, you know, if it's not really worth for me to pre-order the game, why would it be worth it if first of all, you're not going to get anything special, as we all seen with Call of Duty, for example, which is the only reason that I pre-ordered the game was to get the Nuketown 2025 map, and then it turns out they're giving it away for free. So that's that craps out the pre-order bonus out the window. And other than a couple maps that anybody can get at any point, but I don't think anyone is interested in it because they're just not even that great, there is absolutely no reason for you to have pre-ordered the game. I think the selling point of the pre-order was that if you pre-order this game, you're gonna get this map and nobody else will get it, because it's most likely we're not gonna give out the map for anybody else who didn't bought the game. And that's how they sold the game. Until now, where they just put out the map and basically made the pre-orders be completely obsolete. I can tell you one thing for sure, I will not, and I repeat, not pre-order another Black Ops game ever, because I've paid more for the game to get something exclusive, and it turns out it's not really exclusive. It was only exclusive for a few months, which is completely not worth it. So I think we've thrown out the window that they do not use the money to develop the game with the pre-order bonus. What they might do with the developing is just to see if the game is worth doing or overdoing in this case, where if you have high pre-orders, it means there's a high demand for your video game, and it means that you will indeed give it out everything you got, make it better. But that's not the case either, because some games, they don't really come out very good. Again, Aliens Colonial Marines and SimCity, in between tons of others that I don't want to mention. So again, that goes out the window as well. A lot of people have mentioned that, oh, if you bashing on pre-orders, why don't you bash on Kickstarting? No, Kickstarting is a bit different. For the ones who don't know, Kickstarting is a website, but it's also just not a website. It's where people, which means you, me, and pretty much anyone, can help raise money or fund a new video game that's being developed. That's different because you are actually giving money to develop that, to help the people develop that game and make it, and also contribute to it in ideas, in what you'd like to see and whatnot. That is completely different. These companies of pre-ordering these major AAA titles, they already have the money for the game. They already are developing it. They just want pre-orders. They just want you to buy it before it comes out. They just want to make sure you're gonna get it, because when it comes out, whether it's good or bad, you already spent your money and you can't get it back. So there you go. Another thing that people might say is Arma 3 rather, the new Arma 3 development. That is not a pre-order, right? You did not pre-order the game. That is an alpha. What you're buying basically is the alpha access to the game, which is somewhat related to a Kickstarter, for example, where you're purchasing the game before it's fully made, but the game is the game development has started, and when you buy it, not only you can actually play the game, but you can actually contribute in making the game better, in giving your ideas and your opinions and your own experience. So that is different. That's, I agree more. When you buy a game, you test it out for yourself, and then you send you do all these forums, and you say, you know what, I like this game on this game, and I like this on that game. I have this game mode idea that you guys should implement. That still happens in games, but it's after they come out. So, case in point is, there is no point in pre-ordering games. You're not going to get anything more. It's just a waste of money, and it's a big gamble. So, it's up to you guys. This is it for this video. Thanks for watching, and leave me a comment below if you pre-order games or your experience with pre-ordering games. That's it for this one, guys. Thanks for watching, and peace.